The following shows how listener became from somebody's own lapdog wannabe servant to a rising empire overlord. That's right. It's already been 2 years since after Lister took a hold of the Elliott Manor, calling his shots, combining every single one of other Manor's servant drones that were tired of abuse, being treated like nothing, being called names, and getting broken down piece by piece. And he made an empire like no other. Word got out for the worker drones and they all won in. And since then, from that, every single household that were under control by human manner and people now work under one person. And that person was none other than Lister himself. He became something that no one ever believed a worker drone did. And let's just say I hope JC Jensen will be in for a big surprise when a certain someone invades the company's president or CEO's manor as well. Speaking of listener, he was actually in a meeting as he held on to his beautiful beloved Cinderella in his arm, in her beautiful Solver form, as he was making a deal with another worker drone manor. So, that's my deal, he said as he pulled out a cigarette. I end up giving you some upgrades for you and your friends here, along with every dirt you need on those people you call masters. And in exchange, you end up collaborating with me, he said to a worker drone who had red eyes and a purple hat. I like this deal. But another go, I don't want the daughter of that man you see hurt. She is the one I love, he said to a listener who smiled. Understandable. I will end up making sure that woman that you love, the one that is a daughter from that sorry excuse of a man, won't be hurt. And I give you my word. I never go at my word too. Alright, he gets yourself a deal as the two shake. Next he knew, he was escorted by two once worker drones, now disassembly drones, back to the manor that was under control by that man. Meanwhile, listener ended up looking at Cyn, who smiled, giggled. You're so amazing when you end talking like that. Per delightful. What can I say? I learned from the best. Anywho, how's everything in the manor working for you and the others? Excitement shot. It's great. Cyn and I am actually enjoying it, along with Big Brother N, V, and J, and Tessa. The others are so amazed of how you can do something like this overnight. I had a good teacher, he said as he looked at Cyn. I'm never gonna let anyone hurt you again. And I promise you no one's gonna take that. Giggle. I love you, listener. I love you too, Cyn. As the two were about to kiss, the door burst open, and following that, some drones were dragging none other than James and Louise. As they ended up throwing the two down to the ground. Really? What the hell did these guys try to do? They were trying to end the call in JC Jensen. One of the worker drones said as he pulled a burner phone. Found this in this man's shoe. Apparently he had this for a while and was gonna end up calling JC Jensen for backup. Lucky thing that he forgot. Eyes and ears, idiot. He looked at James, who was shaking in fear. He and watching as listener picked up the burner phone and looked at James. James looked at listener, who had a neutral but scary look. How long had you had this phone? Looking at the burner phone. I said, listener's voice raised a little. How long did you have this burner phone? Tell me now! Listener pretty much shouted at that. I had it for at least a year now. This made everyone look at him in disbelief and anger. Hiding something like this for a year really wasn't good on him. A year! Wow! Lister said sarcastically as he got up. Cyn ended up looking at Listener as he was face to face with James. James, you know for the fact after 10 years of me running this empire underneath everyone's nose, I can't have people like you, a fucking goddamn rat, snitch on me. But, he said as he looked at the burner phone, I think I might have a solution. For your own punishment, you're gonna end up seeing how Louise felt with these guys. James ended up being scared as he looked at the drone, who smiled. Take these two away and make sure you end up cleaning them up afterward. Yes, sir. No, not again. I'm sorry. James' own scream was ignored as he was dragged away by the worker drones. Cyn looked at Listener, who ended up looking at the burner phone. Question, what are you gonna end up doing with that? Listener smiled and got an idea. I have something in mind that I wanted to try. Something quite beautiful. And that last night became something truly beautiful, like he said. He faked an emergency call with JC Jensen while using a voice that is none other than James' own. Lister had the ability to mimic people's voices, and he ended up practically be like James in panic as he said that a worker drone has taken over and was killing everyone. They believed him and ended up meeting up at the secret place. However, it wasn't gonna be a meeting. Turned out it was an ambush, and every single worker drone that once was a worker drone, now a disassembly drone, killed every single forces of JC Jensen's own men, leaving the CEO alone. As Lister and walking in with his men behind as they ended up protecting the door, he saw the man who ruled as an Iron Fist, cowered in fear. So you're the infinite JC Jensen, huh? Listener said as he looked at the man who called himself big, but really was a coward in armor. What are you gonna do to me? Something beautiful. One to another, news spread that JC Jensen now had to create a law that all worker drones and other drones that were among us people being treated like shit, being treated like nothing but walking garbage, will be treated like citizens for the rest of their lives. Anyone who upholds this law will be met with a punishment far worse than death. And that forward, JC Jensen, the once proud company man who created the worker drone, was now none other than a dog pet to none other than the new master, Lister himself, with his beloved queen, as they sat in JC Jensen's own office, cuddling with each other. Giggle, how did I get lucky with a man like you? Listener smiled at Cyn. How did I get lucky with a woman like you? And that forward, things will be more interesting now with the new and approved JC Jensen Space Company new CEO.